Assalamu alaikum, guys. Welcome to episode 124, I believe, or 124, 125, something like that, or freshly grounded. This episode kind of happened on the whim, kind of last minute. I don't know how to explain it. We have a massive event this Sunday, which is in 2 days' time. It's currently Friday night. It's like 8 o'clock at night, and we're here with Karim Azzakriti. And he has flown in from Spain. He's helping manage the event Freshly Grounded alongside Yusuf. And what's actually happened is we didn't know if we were going to do an episode of Freshly Grounded this week because we have the event on Sunday. So we thought, look, we're doing the event on Sunday. We're still creating Freshly Grounded this week, but it's just in the form of an event. And then we thought, look, we don't ever want to stop doing the weekly episodes and putting out episodes on Friday. And we were both in the office. We're both working on the event that's in 2 days' time. And we thought, let's just walk over to the podcast desk and have a little podcast and still put an episode out this Friday, today, for everyone. Because, you know, alhamdulillah, our listeners go far and beyond those coming to London on Sunday. And we spoke about reading books. We spoke about the salah and the importance of having khushu'. We spoke about the kind of the event and why it's so important that we're putting this together, and a bunch of other stuff. It's a cool episode. It's a short episode compared to other episodes, and we pretty much, like I said, we walked over from our desks and we decided to have a natter as a kind of little break from our work, and now we're going to get back to our work, and hopefully we're going to be home not too late because it's already quite late, and I'd like to be in bed about 9:45. Yeah. That's not happening. It's not happening today because today it's already like 8:30 or 8 something. Thank you so much, guys, for listening to this episode that you're about to listen to. If you do go ahead and listen to it. This episode is episode 124 of Freshly Grounded, I believe, with Karim Azzakriti. Enjoy, sit back, relax. And it's about 59 minutes right now, so I just want it to get to 1 hour. That's why I'm speaking slowly. We're at 59 minutes and about 40 seconds of the podcast. So if we could just carry on talking. Kareem, how did you find the episode?
It was good, Akhi. It was good. It was good. I think it was necessary. It was needed to kind of go over the event and show to people what they're missing if they're not coming. Those that can come, we are really, really sorry. But those that can come, definitely do. Please, please, please.
I love that in your accent. It sounded like you said the same thing. It sounded like you said, those who can come, we're sorry you can. And then those who can come, we're looking forward to seeing you.
My bad.
But it's fine. Because we accept your accent.
Can and can't.
That's it.
Yeah.
Right. Well, that should be pretty much more or less bang on 1 hour. Yeah. As long as we don't edit anything out, then that is a 1 hour podcast. So, alhamdulillah, without any further ado, enjoy episode 124 of Freshly Grounded. And welcome to Freshly Grounded, the brand new podcast by best friends Faisal and Sam.
Huh?
I said welcome to Freshly Grounded.
After that bit.
The brand new podcast.
And after that bit?
By best friends Faisal and Sam.
Really?
Did you see my Instagram story today? This is one thing that I was going to start the discussion with. Have you seen it?
Which one?
The post of that scholar. I don't know who. I've not seen this scholar before, but I started following him.
I'm not sure.
Dangerous step to take, actually.
Yeah,
no, but I saw a few people following him that know. So he's this Arab scholar, and he put out a post which hit me hard, man. It said, he said that he was talking about a person. He got asked a question about a person who's praying who doesn't have. Okay, sorry, bro. Let's start again. A person who's praying, who says Allahu Akbar, so he does his Takbiratul Ihram, and from that moment he's just thinking about worldly stuff until he does Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. So he's just thinking about worldly stuff his whole salah, to the point where he doesn't even remember what surah he even recited in the first rak'ah, or how many rak'ah he did, etc. He got asked if that person's prayer is valid. And that scared me instantly that he even got asked that question, because I think we've all been guilty of praying and then thinking to yourself, like, did I have khushu in that salah, or did I have the best khushu? And we know that obviously khushu is one of the arkan, but he got asked such a specific question, right? And his response, though you would think it would give you some assurance, because it was not the response that was like the worst case scenario, it actually scares you more. And his response, he said that person who does the takbir and then until he gives his salam, he's thinking about worldly stuff. He said that person's salah is accepted, but he gets no ajr for it.
SubhanAllah.
Imagine that, like going to Yawm al-Qiyamah, and then like imagine like almost all of your salah, like all of the prayers that you prayed, like you prayed, so like you fulfilled your obligation as a Muslim, but none of them you didn't get a reward for any of it. Who would want that? Not that, who would want that? Like not being rewarded. Because, but at the end of the day, the salah that you're doing is always, you're purely doing it for Allah's sake. Like you're going out of your way, man. Like you're praying 5 times a day because you're doing it because you want to please your Lord. And then because you are thinking about stuff in the world, you went through all that effort anyway. You actually went out of your way to please your Lord, which is not easy to pray 5 times a day. But you do it because you know you have to. But you miss out on such a big part of it because you're not concentrating. And it's obviously I'm not giving fatwa and saying your prayer is accepted or is not accepted. I'm just saying what I saw in that video, because I know that like some may say that your prayer is even accepted if you don't have khushu in your prayer. So I'm just basing on that video. I'm kind of commenting on that and saying how scary of a response that was.
I was maybe not so recently, but I was looking into khushu'. And one thing that I kept coming across was the fact that if the parts of your prayer where you don't have khushu', you don't get any ajr for it, which is linked to what you're saying. And that made me feel like I had been playing myself in a way, because you're praying, you're going, you're making wudu, especially in the winter, Fajr time. You're waking up, but you just want to go to sleep and you have no khushu'. And what are you doing that for? And I just felt like that for me. And that hit me. And then whenever you catch yourself whilst doing that, you're like, okay, so that's 2 rak'ah done. That maybe I won't get, rewarded for.
Yeah, like you say, the Fajr thing is interesting because you're waking up Fajr and it's not to say don't do that then, but it's to say like you're fulfilling your obligation as a Muslim by doing that. But like you say, like it's just not being done properly, which is not to say if you're not doing it properly, don't do it at all. But it's to say that why not get like the most out of you doing that? You've got out of bed.
That's the thing.
And it's cold and everything in your body is just saying like, I just want to go back to bed, man. And you haven't.
It's not a thing where
great thing to do.
It's not a thing where you should ever give it up because you're not doing enough. So it's not worth it. It's not like that at all. It's still worth it. Like you should still do it and carry on, even if it's at that with I don't know, very low quality. You still go on. But we should think to ourselves, I need to do more. Because when I looked into khushu', I recommend to anyone to look into it and properly study it, even if it's just a little bit. Read a book or two, watch a video or two, because you underestimate it. I underestimated it, what it meant, like how important it was. And then, because you keep hearing, like who concentrates? Yeah, we all think of stuff. It's all right, and then you kind of accept that it's all right, and so you don't look into it. But then when you look into it and you read some things and you hear some things, you're like, It's not a game.
I also I honestly didn't mean to take it into this direction so soon, but it does come into excellence. No, I'm being serious, like, because there's one thing doing an action and excelling in it is like maximizing your reward from it, right? So like and that's like khushu', right? Like when you've got khushu' in action, you're choosing to excel in it because you know that one of the things within excelling is you have to concentrate on it, you have to understand it, believe in it, focus on it, block everything else out. And the other thing is I often, well, not so much now, but I remember like you know, when I was at uni and stuff like that, and people would ask me like why I pray and stuff. You get asked those questions a lot because you're around non-Muslims a lot, right? And I remember I would often, one of the things that I would say, and it's a common thing that probably people say, is I would say, you know, 5 times a day I'm able to block things out, to block the world out, and just, you know, it's like meditation but better. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But that's not entirely true, because if you don't have khushu in your prayer, you actually haven't blocked anything out. You're just doing actions, innit?
100%.
But when you have khushu in your prayer and you try and concentrate and you think about the fact that your Lord is, like, you're praying to your Lord, that at that point, then you do 5 times a day have that ability to actually block out whatever craziness is going on, and you're just focused on, I'm conversating with my Lord. But it's hard to get to that. And bro, forget days, bro. Like, people can go, like, generally we can go weeks, months without having one prayer that you realize that you're, like, you could just become habit. You could just become a habit. It could just become a habit.
Subhanallah.
Like everything.
Shall I tell you something? Just this week, I met a very old acquaintance of mine, and I was asked by him whether I meditated. And I said, I don't necessarily meditate, but I do believe that we have something that's kind of similar to what people that meditate get in terms of what you get out of it. But I'm not too familiar with meditation or what it's about, but I do know that it's kind of about blocking stuff out and concentrated and focusing and stuff like that. And so when I was asked that question, I immediately thought to myself, Salah is supposed to be much better because you're connecting with your Lord. You're not just, you know, your head is not just blank for the sake of being blank. You're connecting with your Lord, which is the one that's really going to help you get rid of the anxiety, is really going to help you out, is really all of that. But at the same time, I thought, but if you're not doing it properly, you're not even getting the benefits maybe of the person that meditates. What I mean by that is, like, psychologically, the person that meditates, the person that needs that meditation in their life in order to do this and that, which, again, I don't know what meditation is about, but I do know that people find some sort of benefit to it psychologically. If you're praying but you're not really concentrating, you're getting your reward for praying, you're being Muslim and all of that, but that getting rid of all those, you know, anxieties and stuff like that, you're probably not getting even rid of that. I don't know if you get what I mean by that.
I do understand what you mean, because in meditation they say that, you know, you're clearing your headspace, you're just connecting with nature and all of that kind of stuff, and so they obviously their pure intention with meditating is to reach that level of peace in their headspace for those few minutes, and so they'll do everything to get that. Whereas with Salah, if you're doing Salah and your goal is not to detach yourself from the world and to connect with your Lord, then you're not even achieving, like, what you're saying. Yeah, I agree, bro. It makes a lot of sense, bro. And like I said, bro, it's such a dangerous and touchy subject to even go down, because, like we just said, that some would even argue, some scholars would say that even having no khushu would invalidate your Salah. So it's so tough to even have that, like, especially us being able to have that discussion here. It's such a heavy topic, but if it's something that can
very
even
touchy.
go down that route, it's possible.
Very touchy.
It's
very scary.
It's very scary.
Very.
Man. Yeah. Even when you were saying with the book thing, that reminded me of when you said you reading the book about khushu. I had a recently, you know, when you came to my flat, did you see the books on the shelf?
No, I didn't.
On the right hand side, there was like all these books on the shelf, and my missus gets so annoyed when I like leave them about and stuff, and she's like, "Why don't you ever throw books away? Like, you hold your books." And I was like, "I read them all." And she goes, "Go on. When was the last time you read? Like, which ones have you read other than like maybe the top 2?" I'm like, "Oh, I read that one like a year ago." But it's true. Sometimes you have books like lying there, and I have like one book that you mentioned, or a similar one to what you mentioned, which talks about khushu and the prayer and stuff.
No.
But there's a lot of these books that I think to myself, "Oh, one day I'm going to open that and read that." Perhaps it got gifted to me or something, and I haven't read it yet. But then when you do open them, you do see gems. I remember recently I opened a book. I think I was gifted this book by Ustad Yahya maybe. And it was something like talking about your... Oh, no. Sorry. No, this book that I got, it was called... Oh, it was a book... It was like a translation of this... I won't say what book it is, but it was a translation of the book from this other scholar. And it was a very basic version of it, which has been translated in English. And it's probably been sitting there for maybe years. Like, I think Ustad Yahya gifted it to me, and ages ago, and I finally picked it up because it was so small and so thin. I think I was just trying to procrastinate it, and it was so good. Like it was talking about so many things that you feel like, wow, I really needed to know this, but I didn't pick up the book. So then you think about all the times that you haven't picked up Islamic books. And
Can I guess what book it is?
Yeah, go on.
Is it The Inner Dimensions of Prayer?
No.
Okay, because there's something of benefit that I wanted to say about that book. When I have you read it? Have you come across it?
I haven't come across
it's
it.
from Ibn Qayyim.
Okay.
I think it's very well known. It's very, very, very good.
Okay.
But when I read it like you would read any other book, and so that book is full of gems. It's very thin, but it's so thick in terms of what it has and what it offers you. And so I read it like just any other book. You're reading it, you're like, oh, this is so good, and you're already worried that you're going to forget about what you just read, but you carry on reading, right? And when I read what I read, months went by, and I always felt like I need to reread it. I need to reread it because it's kind of gone from my system, from my head. And very recently, one of our shuyukh mentioned that this sort of book, and he wasn't asked this question, he just mentioned it almost as if he was speaking directly towards, towards solving my problem. This type of book, you cannot read it like any other book. You have to read it, you read a little passage, and then you close the book and you focus on trying to implement that little thing in your life for the next week, 2 weeks. And then once you find out that you have it and you're doing that, then you move on and you read the rest and you read the other one. So for example, the book starts with Bismillah. And why you say Bismillah and this and that. I don't remember if that's what it starts by. But say it starts with that because it starts with Fatiha, right? And it deconstructs the whole prayer. So if he's only talking about Bismillah, then khalas, get that knowledge, close the book, and then from now on, whenever you pray, at least remember whilst you're saying that Bismillah, what it means, And then once that's internalized, move on to Alhamdulillah, Rabbil Alameen, etc., etc. And that would have been so much better because right now, I don't necessarily remember what the book said about it.
It's true you say that because I remember one of the things in the book really impacted me in the book that I'm talking about, and now I can't remember what that thing was. I think I might have even mentioned it to Yusuf in the last episode, but I can't remember it.
SubhanAllah.
Crazy, isn't it? But I just remember the impact it had on me.
SubhanAllah.
I remember like, wow. And I told my family, I was like, yo, I just read that if you do this, and they were like, "Well, I didn't know that." It was something about intention. It was something about I can't remember. It was something about like doing a good deed, but having like an intention to like benefit in the worldly life. Like you get the reward, but you don't get the. Oh, it's actually very similar to what that scholar said. The book is Usul al-Fiqh by Sheikh Shitri.
Okay.
And it was translated in a very simple version by the teacher, the sheikh from Medina College in Brixton, Abdul Wahid Stevenson, I think. He translated it. It's so easy. Like anybody could just pick it up and just understand it. He really translated in the most basic of basic format, just like it was almost like a question and answer. Anyway, so when I read that, I was intrigued by the sheikh, so I started watching some of his lectures. Obviously, his lectures are all in Arabic, so there was like a lot of his lectures where there's English translation as well. Like when he came to Green Lane and he did Q&As and stuff. And
the sheikh that wrote the book?
The sheikh that actually wrote the book, yeah. And he, it's funny, it's even like amazing to see their character. And how our like imams and shuyukh that are here in the UK are like basically like we like behave to them or like are meant to behave to them like how students should behave to a teacher. But then when you see them translating for these shuyukh, it's like they're in the position of the student, and like as the sheikh is talking, they're writing and translating, and they're like humble. Like, not that they're not normally humble, but it's amazing to see the dynamic. Yeah, it is. Yeah. That all started on the discussion of that. That little clip. So I started following it because it was actually because Ilyas Burnett posted one of his clips on his Instagram story, and it was a clip about gossiping, and the same sheikh he said when you're gossiping, you got to be careful because if you only ever repeat what you hear, you've probably lied so many times in your life because most of what you hear is probably lies. And obviously that sounds very assumative, but he explains it properly. I can't remember it. I shouldn't be like just nitpicking these little sentences when I can't remember them. I'm going to take like these words out of context completely. But he was talking about basically the negative effects of like gossiping. Now he's basically be cautious of like just spreading news as soon as you hear it.
Yeah.
He said don't assume that someone's a liar, but just be cautious of spreading it straight away because you don't know everything about it.
Yeah, you don't know the other side maybe.
How much benefit is it, bro, just to like not share something as soon as you hear it?
How much benefit is it to bite your tongue in general?
Yeah.
Most of the time.
Yeah, you save yourself so much.
I was just speaking to Nate this morning on the way to Jum'ah, I think, or on the way back, just about this, about how sometimes you just want to, if you could, punch yourself in the head right after you said something.
Yeah.
Because you just couldn't stop yourself. And you're there, you're present, knowing that you're about to say something else.
Oh my gosh.
And
that's me all over.
I hate that, man. I hate that. Like, I need a reset button when that happens.
Yeah. You need Bernard's watch.
Huh?
Did you ever watch Bernard's watch?
No.
You're Spanish, so that's why you didn't have it over there.
What's that?
Bernard's watch, bro. Astaghfirullah, yeah. Like, thinking back at it.
I thought you were talking about Ilyas.
Nah. Thinking back at it, it's mad, like, not shirky, but it's like, because it's about a guy who can control the time with his watch.
Okay.
Which, if you think about it, is like he's controlling something that only Allah can control.
No.
But it was a TV show that we would watch as kids, CITV, and it was so like, I wish I could have Bernard's watch.
Yeah.
What it was is he found this stopwatch. I can't remember if it must have been like in his granddad's, like his granddad passed away or something. But either way, he found a stopwatch, yeah, and he clicked it, and time froze, but he didn't, and so he could do things, and like replay and then unpause time and then things would happen. And so he would do things like, for example, if he's at like, I don't know, like a family dinner and like there's an uncle who's like being really rude, like he'll pause time and then like put a glass like, you know, right on the side of his table, so as he unpauses time it spills and like all over his lap. Point is that
you just want to stop time at
you used to
point.
watch him like, oh man, if I had Bernard's watch, man, like it was just the thing. If anybody who's listening to this remembers Bernard's watch, comment below. But yeah, anyway, thinking back at it, I would never let my kid watch Bernard's watch.
Bro, there's so many things that you wouldn't let your kid watch.
In it, bro. But you don't realize, like, because you think, oh, right, it's just a thing. But to think that a child starts getting gassed over the idea of pausing time, it's dangerous.
Yeah.
Because only Allah can control time.
Yeah. Well, there's so many other things like that.
Oh, loads, man.
It's kind of scary.
Loads. But and even like not on an Islamic basis, but just not teaching good character. My sister doesn't let her son watch Horrid Henry. Have you heard of Horrid Henry?
No, I haven't.
So that's another big one in the UK. But
Doesn't sound
that's
very
new.
good though.
Yeah, which is weird because it's about this kid who's horrid. Like he's just
Yeah.
bad. He's got bad character to his. But I've never watched it, but she was explaining it to me because it's a new one. It's not one that was around when we were little.
Bro. Sorry to cut you off,
No.
but TV nowadays, the cartoons that they have for kids are so terrible.
Yeah.
So terrible.
Are they?
Bro, have you like I don't watch cartoons obviously, but
I never
just
watched cartoons even when I was
overhear
little.
something and I'm
Yeah.
like, how is this for kids though?
Oh. Well, I don't, so Horrid Henry, apparently what it is that he is like just really bad. He has bad like attitude and he doesn't clean his room and he's rude to his parents.
Yeah.
And basically, I think like her son watched a few episodes and he started like picking up those traits.
Really?
But the one thing that I really, really respect my sister, what she does, because she's so invested as a mother, mashallah, may Allah bless her and grant her more children and may Allah give her children health.
I mean,
bro, you know, if her son wants to watch something, she has a review of it. So she watches it herself first. So when they've gone to bed, she'll put it on YouTube. And so sometimes she sends us pictures. She's like, sending us a picture. Like she's like watching Horrid Henry. Kids are going to sleep. Having my dinner, watching Horrid Henry. But it's so nice that she cares that much about her children that she's like literally like killing herself watching this because it's so boring. But she wants to assess it and see if it's suitable because. And then she will actually decide it's not suitable. And that to some people might sound like really
amazing.
Detailed, but it's not because that's your child.
That's
and
amazing.
when your child stops cleaning his room because that's what Horrid Henry does, or starts saying shut up to his mum, it's gone too far. But now he, like, I mean, it's subhanallah.
No. I mean, yeah, there were lots of cartoons like that when we were kids. Did you know what Shin-chan is.
No, I never heard that. Is
Some-
that Spanish?
Some Japanese kid that used to,
It sounds Japanese.
yeah. He used to show,
Did you ever have English dubbed stuff out in Spain as kids, like the cartoon stuff, like
No,
what,
no, no.
Simpsons, all that kind of stuff? Was that
No.
dubbed?
As in, in Spanish, we have that.
Yeah,
What
so
do you
It
mean?
was dubbed in Spanish.
Yeah.
So like people would watch Simpsons and stuff.
Yeah.
I hated Simpsons, bro.
Really?
Bro, when I was younger, never watched a cartoon. Never.
What did you watch? Stand-up comedy?
Why'd you say that?
I don't know. Okay, what did you watch?
I hated cartoons. It would like give me nightmares. Like the idea that like
Really?
these things are like it's because it's not real.
It
was
didn't
like-
attract you?
It just made me like it made me feel a bit weird inside.
Really?
Alhamdulillah, maybe that was my fitra. But like Simpsons,
Subhanallah.
I could not watch Simpsons. It would make me feel. I wasn't scared of the characters, but it was so like. It made me feel very uncomfortable.
Like them being colorful and stuff didn't attract you?
Nah, none of that.
Really?
It just felt like I knew it was real. Like the closest I can say is like it would almost give me nightmares,
Subhanallah.
but not because I was scared of it, but because it made me feel like sick. Cartoons. The only cartoon I can remember watching is Tom and Jerry, so I must have been very young when I was watching that.
Okay.
But with regards to never watched Simpsons, never watched Futurama. I'm just trying to list off some that were like popular. All of that, never hated it. But what we would watch, you're right, is like I liked Bernard's Watch. That was real in the sense that he wasn't cartoon.
Okay.
So
So it was a series.
it was a series, yeah. And then there was I would love like there would be like these game shows, yeah, that would be on after school on CITV where like there'd be like a team of people. Give me a sec. There'd be like a team of people, and they would have to like they'd have a time limit to like collect like a diamond,
Yeah, we had those as well.
and if not, they would get like caught in the cave and stuff.
Would they have them only on Saturdays in the morning?
I can't remember, but it was a kids version. It wasn't like because I know there's an adult version of that called like Foot by Yard or something.
Okay.
Foot by Yard, but this was a children. Well, it was very very good. So I used to watch things like that were actually real human stuff. That would never scare me or make me feel uncomfortable. It was actually quite challenging on the mind. I had a phase where I really got into Deal or No Deal.
Was that like a game show?
Yeah, you never watched Deal or No Deal.
So tell me about it. I don't
So
know about
there's
the
20.
name.
There's like 22 people, and they come back every show until they get chosen, and they all have a box with a different number on it. And then one person gets chosen, and then they come to the front, and they got to answer questions. I think they got to answer questions. I can't remember what they have to do. I think they have to answer questions or something. And then if they get it right, I can't remember what they have to do. But anyway, they have to like take boxes, and if the box, and then as they take the box, it has a number of money in it, and it could be 1p or it could be £250,000 and everything in between.
And if they open it, they lose it.
I think if they open it, they lose it.
Yeah, and then
if they
the last
keep-
one standing has to be the one that has all the money.
And then they get asked if they want to swap it.
Yeah.
But in
at the end.
between, the dealer calls them and offers them an amount of money.
Yeah. Yeah,
and
yeah,
they
yeah,
could
yeah,
take
yeah.
away. Yeah.
Yeah, we had that. It wasn't called Deal or No
I used
Deal.
to really like Deal or No Deal. I don't know why.
I found it difficult to understand, when I was a kid.
Oh, really?
Until I grew up a little bit. Maybe because I wasn't interested in it, because
Yeah.
it was a grown-up type of thing.
Yeah.
It used to run at 7 p.m. No one's watching TV.
What time was your bedtime as a kid? My bedtime was 7:30, I think.
So, no way. As a kid, what? Up until what age? Maybe
I don't know.
9.
No, 9's late. I never got that. I never had a bed. Mine.
What time? Oh, hold on. What time did you start class in the morning as a kid? Like school?
I can't remember. Maybe 8 something. I don't know. Maybe 9. I don't know.
Yeah, for us it was 9. So maybe that's. Our schedules are very different, akhi.
Yeah, in Spain.
Yeah, people have dinner at 9, 10,
Really?
and lunch at 1 earliest. 2.
What time is lunch break in Spain?
Lunch break 1, 12:30 maybe.
What was I was gonna say that. Oh yeah, when we were younger, did you know when you were younger, were you ever? Because in summer, it'd be like 9 o'clock at night or 10 o'clock at night, and like Maghrib would have just happened.
Yeah.
So but your mum would have put you bed at like 8, and so you're sleeping and it's
No.
still bright outside.
No.
You never went to sleep with bright outside.
No.
Oh, but we used to have to do that. She used to put us to
Akhi,
bed.
it's summer though.
No, but like in summer,
still have
not in the holidays.
Okay.
Like let's say you got school,
Okay.
so it's
Okay.
getting it.
Fair enough.
And then it's like June, for example, because some holidays don't start till July. So let's say it's June, and you're going to bed at like 7:30, and it's like you're like, it feels wrong, bro. You're like, Mom, it's light outside though. How are you gonna make us fall asleep?
Subhanallah. No, I have no recollection of that.
And we used to have to. We used to be so like so depressed, bro. Like it's light outside and we're sleeping.
Subhanallah.
And you could hear like you'd hear my mum downstairs like washing up, and so, like, my dad would be talking. You'd think, look, they're still like living life. Why do we have to be in bed? I should come in and check if you're awake, because obviously I used to share a room with Omar.
Yeah.
So she's like, you guys sleeping? Yes. We're like,
Subhanallah. What happened if you weren't? It's
my
not
mum-
your fault. You're not on your phone.
My mum was very strict, but like a good strict. She was like very assertive.
Ah.
Yeah, she's very assertive, and it helped because like she wouldn't like you couldn't put the wool over my mum's eyes. She'd know.
That's
I
amazing.
think all mums know.
That's amazing.
Mums know, innit? Mums know when
Yeah.
like mums know their children.
Because you're not that slick. You're actually very dumb.
Yeah, you're not slick.
Allahumma barik,
You're
but
not
you're
slick.
very dumb when you're a kid. Because you can see it. You can see it nowadays.
Yeah, you're not slick.
Now as a grown up, if you see it, even a teenager, you can be like, I know what you're doing.
Yeah, it's true.
I know.
It's amazing how they say like life less. Like experience genuinely is such a big lesson in life. And another example of that I realized recently is, I mentioned a few podcasts ago that our flat gets very hot, bro, very hot.
Really?
And you can open windows, everything, but it's just so hot in the flat. And the other thing is, I'm taking the bins out every day, bro, because the bins don't even get half full. And we really like hardly ever throw away food. Like I can't tell you the last time I threw food away.
It smells very bad.
But the bin smells so quickly.
Mm.
And so I'm taking the bin out, bro, and it's like a quarter full, not even a quarter.
Really?
I have to take it out. I have to, bro, because the whole flat will smell. But I said to my nan, my nan, old woman, Pakistani woman, blah, blah, speaking Punjabi, like, she's not like educated in the sense of like Jesus sees at the other. She's got life experience. You know what I mean? And I remember I said, nah, it's mad. Like my bin just always smells. And straight away she was like, she must have said like, does your house get hot or something? I never put two and two together. And she was like, the heat will just make it just enhances smell.
Yeah, it rottens quicker.
Yeah, and I was like, right. That's actually true. And even though it sounds so dumb, you know what I mean? But it's just because in life, she's had to go through things where that would happen to them. And she learned it. And then, do you know what I mean? It's ajib though, man, because sometimes you just throw away like cardboard or something.
Sorry?
Sometimes you just throw away cardboard or something.
I mean, if it's cardboard like yesterday's
oh
cardboard.
my
though.
gosh. How bad did that smell?
Akhi, that smelled very bad. That smelled very weird. It smelled weird. It's just not right for that to smell that way.
That was the smelliest cardboard. For those listening who don't understand the context, we bought some stools from IKEA and we opened the packaging up and the cardboard that it came in it smelled like really, really cheesy feet. What did you think it smelled like?
No, that's exactly it.
That's exact smell,
That's
isn't
exactly it. That's exactly it.
We should talk about the event, bro, because that's why we're here.
What event?
Wow.
Talk to me. What's going on?
Ouch, my teeth hurt. Well, it would be nice to break down the event quickly
Yeah.
because it's in 2 days' time.
Bismillah.
And we had Yusuf on last week, who is one of the event managers who is dealing with kind of hospitality and volunteers and kind of pretty much everything outside of the auditorium to make sure that everything inside the auditorium goes smoothly. And you're another event manager who has basically got the opposite role of Yusuf, in that you're ensuring that everything inside the auditorium is going smoothly so that everything on the stage can go smoothly.
Nah.
And then I'm trying to make sure everything on the stage goes smoothly. And that's
100%.
that's probably the most like walking on a tightrope as you can get because everyone's eyes are on the stage. But I think people don't notice or realize generally in a production, I know I didn't, how much for something to go right on stage, how many things have to go right off stage.
Exactly.
Like even the fact that Yusuf has an entire department that he's managing and none of it is to do with what's inside the auditorium.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
And it's like one of the key parts of the success of the show. And then likewise with you're going to be at the back on the sounders. Like no one will even probably see you because you're going to be behind everyone.
It's true.
But like the things that play and everything timed and all that kind of stuff, it's impossible without having that.
If him and I do a good job, ideally no one should notice.
Yeah.
That's what
people should be
doing
like, wow, that was a good event.
That's what exactly. It's when things go wrong that you're like, oh, that was a crappy event. That wasn't very.
But how often do you go to an event and like there's a time where like, is Mike? Hello, Mike's working. That kind of stuff. Oh, it's so annoying. If we just don't have that, it's just like it's great.
Alhamdulillah.
Alhamdulillah, we didn't have it at the last event. So if we don't have it at the next event, inshallah, in 2 days' time, we'll be very happy. But yeah, so look, the event. I think there's a lot to talk about with the event in that we've been talking about it over the last couple of months. But A, we're 2 days away.
Yeah.
And B, I think pretty much everything that's been announced, everything that was going to be announced has now been announced.
Okay.
There are some things happening at the event that haven't been announced. Naturally, I think that's to be expected. And there's some things happening at the event that are not going to be filmed or put on YouTube. And I think that's important to know because while we always want to put our events on YouTube, we try and explain how important it is to be at the event because A, there's like an ambience in the air that you can't feel when you through the screen.
100%.
And B, there's things that happen at the event that there's things in the last event that happened that we didn't film, like the pre-show and stuff like that.
Yep.
And a segment in the middle. And this time we've got things that we are not filming, but they're going to be like some of the things that we got that we're not filming are like have potential to be the best segment of the event.
That's true.
It's
but
true.
hold on. It's not like you're not filming them because you want to tease people and make them come.
Yeah.
You're not filming them because you're not allowed to.
I'm not allowed to.
But still, if they don't come, they can possibly see them.
And I'm not allowed to because with some of the people, there's agents and managers and licensing, and it's not as simple as filming and putting it on YouTube.
So you have to come to the event.
You have to come to the event.
But it's not on us though. We didn't do that on purpose.
Yeah, we didn't do it on purpose.
Khair.
But that's going to be the nature of these events though, bro. That as we do events, there's going to be, inshallah, bigger and better people, and there's going to be more and more red tape. And a lot of these people are friends or freshly grounded. So they don't normally do events. But they'll do it for us because they're friends freshly grounded, alhamdulillah. But there's red tape with that. Look, I'll do it for you as a friend, but can't film it. And so
even though we want to film it, because we want to share it with the people. But
so it's important to come to the events.
It's important.
It's very important. Bro, there's some things that you can't even put on a poster.
I'm actually excited about this event because at the last event, I was there as a member of the audience. And I loved it, akhi. Like, the people that came, they know what they felt. And, bro, we're just talking about barakah. Like, that's the only way you can describe it. It's nothing like concrete. Like, I can't put my finger on it. It just felt nice. You felt like, you know what it is? You know the feeling that you would get from, I don't know, say watching a very good movie or a very exciting movie or a very funny show or whatever, and you always have that little thing in the back of your head of, I'm wasting my time. Maybe I shouldn't watch this. Oh, he just said a swear word. Oh, he just did this. You know what I mean? And for some reason, you cannot fully enjoy it. Even if that thing does make you feel that way. Akhi, at that event, it was all so halal. It just felt nice, bro.
Yeah, entertaining.
It just felt nice.
Yeah, I think it doesn't exist, man.
But you wouldn't know how that felt though, because you were on stage. But I'm talking as an audience member.
Okay. Yeah.
As an audience member, bro. Because even you didn't watch it. Like you watched it back on video, but I'm sure. Because it's not the same, bro. It's not the same.
This event is going to be such a different experience for you because you're not going to be an audience member. You're going to be managing the entire. You're going to be so.
But I'm
stressed.
excited. I'm excited to give the people that feeling, though.
I see. Wow.
In whatever capacity I can.
Wow.
Akhi, it's amazing, man. Like, come on, bro. Like the Aldwych.
Yeah.
I'm not even from London, and that just sounds rich and famous and big.
It's amazing, bro.
Akhi,
The Aldwych is genuinely an amazing theatre. It's not. We weren't hyping it. Like this is a historic building, a historic theatre, and buildings like these and theatres like these. These are the theatres that people travel around the world so they can watch Lion King, the musical in London, West End, and like Thriller and all the other kind of West End shows that are out. We're in one of those theatres.
who?
Freshly Grounded.
Subhanallah.
Inshallah. Mad.
Alhamdulillah.
Alhamdulillah. Allah is capable of all things.
Alhamdulillah,
Allah is capable of all
subhanallah.
things. I never thought that we'd be in the West End, ever.
Subhanallah.
Never. It's like a bigger thing to me than for us to be in like the O2 or Wembley, because and I probably would say different if we were in O2 or Wembley, but that's genuinely how I feel right now, because the type of venue that we're in, it has an attitude and a character. You know what I mean? You can kind of personify it without going too deep into that. You know what I mean? Becoming like, but you can personify the theatre in some way, like the history it has, the walls, the setting, it feels royal. You know, there's royal boxes that when the royal family come, they would sit there. Like, it adds that element to it.
I'm really looking forward to our guests adding a bit of sauce to that.
Yeah,
should be very interesting.
The guests are important. So the thing I love about this event is we've got people who have excelled, and that's why we've called it Operation Excellence. We've got people who have excelled in different fields, right? But we're not saying, how do you become the best bodybuilder? How do you become a social media star with 500,000? Because we know that not everybody wants that.
Yeah.
But what everybody does want is to take the good from those people in their mindset, the things that they have done to achieve that level of success in that field, and then apply it to their own lives.
And that's actually what excellent people do. They are able to extract the little things from different people, from different fields, even if it has nothing to do with what they do.
Agreed. And my focus for this is to be on, it sounds morbid, but to be on like suffering and trials and losing people and really difficult tests that we all go through in life, because we all will go through tests like a friend passing away, a parent passing away, perhaps a child, perhaps a miscarriage, perhaps eating disorders, perhaps depression, and these tests are a bit more difficult than the test of like not passing an exam. And I know not passing an exam, I'm not belittling that, because it's tough.
I was just thinking about that, yeah.
It's very difficult.
In the moment, you definitely feel it.
In the moment, it's the worst thing.
Yeah.
But if someone said to you, you'll fail this exam, or your parent passes away, come on. Or you'll have this child. And so my point is that we know that everyone's going to go through trials on that level at some point in their lives, or they have been through it, or they're going through it now.
And even then you can apply it, because if you're going through a trial for an exam and you're thinking of that person that went through a trial on something much bigger, you're like, okay, not only can I apply what they did, but their problem was much bigger.
Agreed. I agree with that.
So you can definitely apply it.
But while I agree with that, I think that the reason and this isn't the focus of the event, but the reason internally for me, the focus for me for the event is because we know the nature of the dunya. The nature of dunya is that it's not perfect. So we are going to go through those tests. Now imagine we can go to people who, now hear me out because it sounds weird, but people who have achieved almost the highest achievement that you can achieve as a natural bodybuilder, yeah? And you can understand that that person would have had to go through the craziest mental discipline where he is every single gram is being measured. Every single moment of sleep is being tracked. Every little micro instrument is being used to ensure that he can achieve what he needs to achieve with the goals for his physical fitness.
Yeah.
Now imagine you could apply that mindset of that much discipline to the discipline of being able to like you said, both study hard, complete that dissertation.
Whatever you need.
Yeah. Then imagine you got someone who, and this is what's important to me, because I think that a lot of people think, what benefit could the social media stars, for example, bring to the event?
Yeah.
But imagine this, yeah. All of us in life have goals and visions and dreams. Yeah. And we all in life, and as I mentioned it, people will be thinking about that person. We all in life have someone or two people, three people who are a bit negative, or who are a bit patronizing, or because they can't achieve that goal, they almost put you down,
or they won't believe it until they see it.
They won't believe in it. They won't believe it until they see it.
Yeah.
Now we've all got that. How do we deal with them people? Now let me present to you 3 people who have hundreds of thousands, if not millions, of eyes on them every day, and on a daily basis they get people judging their lives, people hating on them, people giving them death threats. They deal with what we deal with as normal people. with one or two people, they deal with that with 1,000 people on an extreme level. And they manage to keep a smile on their face. How do you do that?
How do you block that out?
How do you block it out? Because if I could just take that from your mindset, that's what I want.
Yeah.
I want to be able to extract that.
Yeah.
And likewise, but we got that with loads. We got that with the performers. We got that with Hussein sharing his story. We've got that with my uncle Rahman Akhtar, who's sharing his whole story on his mindset, how he achieved the mindset to go from. And I always give this analogy because I think that this entails his story in like almost one scenario, and it's the fact that he went from searching for coins at the back of a sofa in his council flat to working for the world's most profitable company. What is that journey like? How did you stay happy and strong at those moments so that you can be proud and happy in those moments? And his character hasn't changed one bit.
Yeah.
Come on, bro. I need to take that. I need to understand that mindset so I can apply it.
And here's what I think is powerful about this one you just said, is the fact that, because I recently just read that he said something along the lines of, and throughout this whole period, there's one word that never left my lips, and that word is Alhamdulillah. So it's not only about going from counting pennies to actually working for this big company, because one could say, yeah, but I'm not so focused on the dunya and I don't want to focus on the dunya. No, we're talking about he's getting these blessings, but whilst he's going through the hardships, he's still saying Alhamdulillah. So it's that balance.
Yeah, and he's content, like you're saying.
Exactly. Because we all know about this culture of, hustle and work hard and all of that. And for some people, it may not work. Because for some people, they may be like, no, I don't want to focus on the dunya so much. Yeah, but Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is telling us to excel at everything that we do. So if I can find out how to excel at stuff, I'll do it. Whatever that is, I'll apply it to whatever I need to apply it to. And we all need to do that, bro. Because truth is, even if we try to excel, we're never going to be perfect.
Never.
So we have to be trying to excel, because otherwise, if we are just stagnant, if we are just, sitting there, we're just becoming worse and worse. It's a moving train kind of thing. We need to keep moving.
I just came across the thought that I was explaining to you kind of what it meant to me, the event.
Yeah.
And I just realized that the event can mean different things to different people. Because while that's what it means to me, from this event, there might be someone who's trying to just get their physical health better. There might be someone who's just trying to get their money up. There might be someone who's just trying to build a following for their goal. And they can benefit from it too. So you can go into the event with different, but that's what I'm going into it with. But you can go into it with different mindsets, which
100%.
is nice and it's adaptable.
100%.
Yeah. And the tough thing is trying to explain that by putting these people on a stage, we're not saying that we believe that any one of them, including ourselves, are perfect. We don't believe that.
100%.
And they don't believe that. No one believes that about themselves.
Mm.
But what we're saying is that we believe that everybody has a gem that they can give. And if we were all to have open ears and we were to take from everyone, we can always take good from people's character or their lessons or their life experiences.
Exactly. Regardless of if you want to be like them or not. Just being able to be taught something and be willing to learn something.
That I made a promo video for this event that I never ended up putting out, but that's why in one of the clips I said that when you come to this event, you have to have an open ear. You have to have open ears, an open heart, and you have to leave your ego at the door and pick it up on the way out. And I said that because it's easy to go, oh yeah, but that's not for me. Oh yeah, but to leave your ego at the door and to go there with open ear and say, what can I take from this person? What can I take from this person? Only then can you be emotionally vulnerable. And I want everyone who comes to our event to be emotionally vulnerable. I want to see people cry. And not because I want to upset people, but the reason is, bro, because I think that some of the content there is impactful. So let it in. When he's talking about his story, bro, he's saying my wife would push me out the door with a smile on my face and say, Rahman, you know why you're doing this. And she'd send me out smiling. And she'd close the door and she'd start crying.
Subhanallah.
But she'd be strong for him.
Subhanallah.
How's that not going to bring a tear to your face?
I hope I don't cry.
Bro, I'm
busy.
I'm going to cry.
I'm busy.
Yeah,
I
you're
can't
too
be
busy to
crying.
cry.
I'm going to triple myself.
Akhi, for Rahman, Akhi, I'm taking front row seat. I'm looking forward to that so much.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that.
Anyone who's watched the podcast with him, they've told me that's the thing they're looking forward to the most is him.
Subhanallah.
And it's a shame because he's probably the least known. But bro, different. He flew in all the way from Saudi. He's in London now. He flew all the way from Saudi just for this event.
Allah bless him.
He's in London. He's in London now. And I'm going to see him in the morning. And we're going to go over a few things for the event. And you're going to be there, inshallah.
Inshallah.
It's looking very, very exciting, man. Looking very, very exciting.
Okay, I'm very excited for the event, man. I'm very excited.
It's funny because we've been so busy prepping this event, we were not going to even put out an episode this week. And I justified it in my head by saying, we've got the event on Sunday. That's this week. It's a big thing. No one will be upset with us for not putting out an episode on Friday this week. And then we thought, you know what? We put out episodes every week. Why stop? Let's just have a chat. And because that's what Fresh Uganda is. It's just natural conversation. Let's have a chat. Let's put an episode out. And it's Friday night right now. And what's the time?
The time. Maybe they'll listen to this chat on the way to the event. You know? Instead of listening to some other madness.
Right now it's 6. Oh no, it's not.
No, it's 8:15.
Oh, 8:15. We still got to do a lot.
No, we still gotta do a lot, man. But we are looking forward to seeing everyone at the event. Those that cannot make it, we will try our best to film the best quality video, the best quality audio for them to be able to enjoy it. That is our goal.
But have mercy on us.
Do have mercy on us. Next time, try and come if you can. And those that are at the event, we're going to try and put the best show possible for you guys so that you can go back at home feeling refilled, having gained a lot of value, and at the same time having been entertained in a very halal way. Bro, what more can you ask for?
I don't know.
Yeah.
It depends what you're looking for.
Mm.
But if you're looking for a nice night out where you can just relax and let your hair down, as they say, obviously metaphorically, it's just a nice event to relax and enjoy some entertainment where you don't feel guilty, like I said, and it's a nice kind of upper class entertainment theatre, and you don't get that often. You don't get that often, man.
You know what I look forward to, Akhi? I look forward to those people that are going to have their eyes opened at the event in terms of realizing that you can actually have a very good time. Because I can understand the people that have never gone to an event like this or have gone to events that maybe promise to do the same thing or kind of look the same way, but then it's a bit, Akhi, we don't have hundreds of millions of pounds to be blowing away in marketing and advertising to make a sick trailer to make it look like, this is the type of movie that's really not going to give you any value, but you're going to come and pay I don't know how much for anyway, and you're going to pay for popcorn even though it's £7. This is not that type of thing. We can't do that. We can't afford that. But Akhi, the way you're going to feel, man, I'm looking forward to those people.
I hope
and I'm looking forward to those people that are going to talk to their friends and be like, next time you have to come.
I really do hope so, because this isn't something that we try and this is not a thing where we're trying to just do it off the way. Let's do. We really care about this. We really care.
And I'll tell you this. This is why I'm saying this. Akhi, last event, I didn't know what to expect. And I know you. But I don't know what to expect. I don't know how good it's going to be. I don't know how fun it's going to be on the day. And I know you. And Akhi, I'm there and I'm like, I'm feeling proud for my very good friend. But at the same time, I'm like, wow. I'm not trying to guess anyone up. I'm just saying it's Alhamdulillah is the type of thing
I
that
don't
you
get
really
gassed
want
too,
to.
bro, because I know the honesty of it, and the reality of it is the hard work that so many people put in.
Yeah.
So many people, bro.
You could tell as well.
Yusuf.
You could tell as well.
Bro, I could talk about Yusuf all day. All day I could talk about Yusuf. Yusuf makes these things successful. Allah makes these things successful, but I'm saying Allah uses Yusuf as a tool. A very big tool. And Yusuf just... Actually, he puts a smile on my face. And people don't realise that he's a star of the show, bro.
Subhanallah. Allahumma barik.
You know what I mean? And he's never seen Well, last episode was probably the first time people even saw his face. Like, as in, like, and put a face to a role. You know what I mean, bro? Amazing. If people knew like, the sacrifices that we know that Yusuf is putting himself through for this event.
Subhanallah.
And I really feel like mentioning it, but I just don't know if he's put it out there, so it's fine, I won't. But the sacrifices he's put himself through, and he genuinely feels like he's doing it because he is somehow adding to the ummah, by providing something that can be just bro, Yusuf's dream is to make this once a month or once a week or something, you're saying. Because he wants the Muslims to have access to something where they can all go on a night out. Everyone go on a night out, like you'd go to the theatre, like you would go to the cinema, and you just go out, you grab tickets, and you go watch the Freshly Grounded show. And it's always halal, but it's always entertaining, and it's always really, really relaxed and not pushy and not shouty.
Can I ask you something?
Yeah.
What's the difference between a Freshly Grounded show and a Freshly Grounded episode?
They're two completely different things. They're two completely different things.
So one shouldn't assume that it's the same?
It's not the same at all. And the reason is because we try and achieve the same goals. But look, our podcast, our weekly podcast, I was saying to you even earlier, this is our base. We love it. Without the weekly podcast, there is no Freshly Grounded. And we will always, and this is what did I say to you just before we went on? I said, bro, when I'm sat in this chair, I feel like I'm home. I feel like I'm home, bro. I love it. Like, what did I say to you up there?
Alhamdulillah.
I'm so gassed that we get the episode. But so it's not to say that we don't like the episodes, but the shows are like once kind of a blue moon, once every few months, where we could just go creative, we can have fun, we can bring in people, and we can bring new audiences to this. Because the people who already listen to Freshly Grounded, they're on the journey with us.
Yeah.
But bro, there's a lot of people who aren't on the journey with us, and we want to share it. Because as I said in the episode with Yusuf, bro, Freshly Grounded is not Faisal Chowdhury, it's not Sam Palmer. It is what it is. It's community led. You know what I mean? It's for the community, by the community. We enjoy it like it's like a family. It's a tribe. But because of that, we want to bring more people into it and just enjoy whatever it is people get out of it. Whether it's you are driving to work and you are able to have listen to something that's not too heavy, but it's not music. Whether you're able to benefit from the guests that we have on who are very beneficial. You know what I mean? When Tim Humble's here and he's talking about how to perfect your marriage,
Oh man,
bro, that's a gem. Like that's got nothing to do with me. That's the fact that he's there and he's providing such an amazing he's delivering such an amazing talk. So
Akhi, it's hard for me to even put a genre to Freshly Grounded, because I don't think there's anything like it. You know what I mean? You know, when you see something, your brain automatically tries to place it somewhere that's like similar. Like it tries to find patterns. There's nothing like Freshly Grounded for us, for the Muslims. Something where
but alhamdulillah, now there is a lot.
There's a lot ever since Freshly Grounded started. I do realize maybe it's because I wasn't.
I hate when people say that because I feel so like weird. About, the thing is, look,
maybe it's because I wasn't so accustomed to podcasts.
Because podcasts were huge. Before Freshly Grounded.
Maybe that's all it is.
And we just jumped on the bandwagon at one point.
To have that, akhi, and then at the same time, for Freshly Grounded to be giving, like, putting together events where you can actually have a bit more entertaining stuff going on and have a fun time at the same time you're getting value out of it. I do believe that the events are very different from the episodes, but they're both so necessary.
And at the events you get ice cream, which you have to pay a lot of money for. I'm saying that the bar this time is going to sell ice cream.
Really?
But these days they charge Haagen-Dazs like £12. So I just wanted to lighten the mood.
Inshallah. Can I get some ice cream if the event goes well?
The thing is,
I'm not on a diet, akhi.
You can get ice cream, but we have no special privileges. So we're going to have to get the Freshly Grounded card out. I'm going to have to say cream needs an ice cream. Thank you very much.
Hopefully. If I need it, that means everything went well. Inshallah.
You're not going to have time for an ice cream on that day, but
no.
Guys, thank you so much for listening to Freshly Grounded this week. It was with Karim Azzakriti. Am I saying it right?
Yeah, Bismillah.
Just you
carry on.
You say it in Spanish accent.
In Spanish, Azzakriti.
Azzakriti.
Without a qa though.
Azzakriti.
No, ka with a kaf.
Azzakriti.
Wow. Yeah.
With a qaf.
No, with a kaf.
Kaf. Azzakriti.
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 Bismillah.
Alhamdulillah. This episode was with Karim Azzakriti, and it was, look, we're here in the studio. What we're really doing is we're working on the event, and we walked over to the podcast and we sat down and we decided to have a chat. And now we're going to stop podcast and we're going to carry on working on the show, which is in 2 days. So thank you very much for listening, and we if we don't see you this Sunday, then we will see you inshallah next week for another episode of Fresh Regarded, back to regular programming.
Barakallahu feekum.
Assalamu alaikum.